The audio and camera in the right spots. You are live.
Hello, Internet. You are looking live here in DNA HQ here in beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah. This is the DNA Sports Recap live stream podcast. Welcome to the show. How's it going, AJ?
Dude, it has been a while.
It has been a while.
We had a couple work situations, family vacation situations.
Yeah, a few things that kind of got in the way of us doing our little show here.
Let's call them prior obligations.
Yeah, prior obligations, for sure. Yeah, definitely a great way to put that, AJ.
But I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, we're back.
So glad to be back.
We're back here, and so we're just we're excited to do the show. We're excited to
we're
chat
hot
with you.
messes, though. I mean, like my mic, my cords are going everywhere.
Oh, look at that! My ear thing stopped.
That's what I'm saying. We're a mess.
We're
Okay.
a mess. We got this
Okay.
right way. We're good, guys. We're
First
good.
time.
Yeah, don't worry. We've done this. We're professionals. We've got this. So anyway, first of all, again, appreciate it. Thanks for joining us. We want to know where you're watching, folks. If you're watching live, please feel free to jump in the comments and let us know where you're watching. This is a live show. We want to hear from you. So go ahead and shout us out in the comments down there. Let us know what your opinion on what we're talking about. Also, where you're watching from and all that good stuff. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know in the comments if you're watching live on the show. Today's episode of the DNA Sports Recap, we are talking about, the Utah Hockey Club has released its not only its graphics, but the way the
branding,
jerseys,
the jerseys. Yeah,
it's released all of that. So it's funny how we take a couple weeks hiatus and all the news drops is on the hockey.
That's
side.
pretty typical.
Yeah,
I mean, that's pretty typical on just about everything we do.
Yeah,
once we stop filming.
Yeah, we were stretching for topics to talk about on hockey, and now we don't shoot for a couple weeks and a bunch of stuff comes in. So that's just
beautiful. We'll take it.
We'll take it. It gives us something to talk about now.
Yep.
And also on this episode of the DNA Sports Recap, we're also going to be discussing how the Utah Jazz have announced their rebranding, which is good timing, just a couple of weeks ahead of the draft, which we have some thoughts on that. We'll definitely talk about that as well.
Yep.
So that's also something we definitely want to talk about. And in Major League Baseball, we have a few things to talk about. One very sad thing to talk about that happened over a passing of a great legend, which we'll talk about here in a minute. And we'll also discuss, all the stuff that went down in Major League Baseball, injury history, some more of the betting scandal stuff that came out that's not involving, Shohei, which would be great to talk about finally.
Yes.
We'll go ahead and get to that.
All that and more.
Exactly. You want to say that part?
No, that's your line.
Oh, you sure?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I actually thought about saying it, and then I was like, no, it'll be weird.
Okay. Nessa Joe is in the stream, and she is coming, watching from Utah. Awesome, Nessa. Thanks you for joining the broadcast. Appreciate it. And then, so we'll go ahead and jump into that here. So let's go ahead and get started with what we're going to have on the podcast, shall we?
Yep.
Okay. For those of you watching on the live stream, this is available as a podcast, audio only, wherever you get your podcasts. A lot of the bantering that we talk about beforehand in between stuff doesn't make the podcast as well as the end. So all the people who are live streaming get to catch this part all by yourself there. So make sure, again, if you want to listen to the actual full episode, it's available wherever you get your podcast, audio only. It's also available on YouTube underneath our DNA Sports Recap channel underneath podcast. You'll check that out. You ready?
Always.
All right, here we go. Hello, Internet. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. On this episode of the DNA Sports Recap, the Utah Hockey Club has announced its branding, logos, and jerseys. Let's go ahead and talk about it.
And the Utah Jazz have done a rebrand as well. Let's break it down.
In Major League Baseball, there's a passing of a legend. Let's go ahead and talk about it. In Major League Baseball, injuries continue. Let's go ahead and break that down. Also in Major League Baseball, there is more to come on the betting scandal. Let's break it down. All that and more. My name is Darren. That is AJ. And this is the DNA Sports Recap.
Roll the intro. Roll the intro, Darren.
Oh my goodness. We didn't have the intro ready. This is going to have to take care of this. Is going to be an edit.
Roll the intro.
One more time.
Roll the intro.
Hello,
And
AJ.
we're back.
And we're back. Hey, AJ, how's it going?
I'm so good.
Good.
So good. I only took 3 shots to roll the intro.
Yeah, and now you're just adding more to the edit later on. That's cool. Let's just keep.
That's what I'm here for.
Well, once again, folks, appreciate you joining the podcast. So once again, folks, this is available as a live stream if you're watching this on, or you're listening on the podcast after, or if you're watching on YouTube after. This is a live stream. We do offer this. Join us every Wednesday or Thursday, depending on which day we can actually get together to do this. We usually like to throw it up a notification earlier on when we shoot this, but be sure to join us live when we do this live. So please feel free to join in. If you're on the live stream, please feel free to let us know in the comments down below. Before we get started with the content, let's go ahead and quickly announce we are so close, folks. We are just shy of 1,000 subscribers. We're about 48 away, something like that.
We're so close.
We're so close.
Smash that subscribe button.
That's right. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're going to be giving the first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue back to our subscribers. So if you have not yet, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on that giveaway, and also smash that like button for your boy AJ right over there.
I appreciate it.
All right. So before we get into content here, let's do a little bit of pre-show cheers.
Oh, yes.
Definitely got to do that. Cheers to you.
Cheers to you, my friends.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump right into it, shall we?
Absolutely.
Okay. So let's first talk a little bit about Utah hockey. Should we jump into that first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this up on the screen here. We're going to first start with the logos. And those for you who are listening on the podcast, you can see this on the.
Just check it out on YouTube if you want to see everything
YouTube.
we're putting on there. Yeah.
We're just going to throw it up here. This is going to be basically the logos that we're going to have for this hockey team here in Utah. We got the Utah Hockey Club. As you can see, the Utah part is going to be called Mountain Blue, by the way. That's what that's called.
I love that.
Mountain Blue, not baby blue, not light blue, Mountain Blue.
Yep.
Sky White or something like that. I can't remember what the white one's called, but the white and the black both have their own colored names. So all three of them have a name, and they're all specific towards Utah there. So first reactions of these logos. What do you think there?
I love them, man. I think my favorite one of those logos is actually the state of Utah with the Utah Hockey Club underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's enough of the state of Utah because it is such a uniquely shaped state.
It definitely is.
It kind of sends you immediately right back into, okay, definitely from Utah. I love the color schemes. My question is, do you think the color schemes are a little bit indicative of what the name might be?
I think.
Or do you think they're going to mold the color, or do you think they're going to mold the color scheme around whatever?
See, you're hitting on that. It's like perfectly.
Yeah.
These are going to be the color schemes because believe it or not, the Jazz, well, we'll talk about them later. They also just did a rebrand.
Yep.
And they did colors specifically as well. So are we aligning the two? Or are we separating the two? Or is this going to be some way? Because one thing you need to know, folks, if you are a Utah fan, or if you're a hockey fan, or you're just a sports memorabilia fans, you got to go out and get one of these jerseys while they're available, these sweaters, the hats, stuff like this. Because this is only going to be available for one season. And
right.
Potentially less than one season if you follow the rumors there.
Yeah.
But it's going to be, because there's part of that. We're getting into that later. But so this could be like a one-time shot thing on this.
Yeah.
So they're going to be.
All the Utah Hockey Club gear is only going to say Utah Hockey Club potentially for one season.
Yeah.
Unlikely that makes the final cut for the team name, right?
Yeah, which honestly is warming on me, to be honest with you. Utah Hockey Club, I don't mind it.
I love it because we already have a channel named that way.
Yeah, so yeah, absolutely, folks. And for those who are watching on our main channel, we did launch a new channel called Utah Hockey DNA. That's our logo up on the screen there for you. We'll have a link to that channel down below. So if you're following us for our hockey content for the Utah NHL team, we have a specific channel just for that content. So be sure to check that out in the comments in the description down below for this video.
Sweet logo too.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you like and subscribe to that because we'll be doing our own giveaway on that one as well. So make sure you're involved in that. All right. So with that said, we already talked about the logos there that are involved in that. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the jerseys, basically the sweaters, what those will actually look like. So we have those up on the screen here. You're going to have on the home jerseys, you're going to have the black with the light sky blue and the white kind of offsetted there. I like the pipes, the lines there. It's kind of very Boston Bruin type style of.
It's kind of hockey style.
It definitely
is. Like the lines and yeah.
And then you have the away jerseys, which is just the inverse of it. Very simple Utah script down the center. angled, very clean, very, again, on the screen there for you for the folks who are watching on YouTube there. Again, check it out if you're listening on the podcast there. But it's very well designed, very neat, very simple. Again, like I said, these are going to be a 1 year only type option there.
I'm getting one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
I'm
it.
getting one. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. We're going to be giving one away. At least one of those, right? Maybe one of the new ones away on that channel. So,
oh yeah, absolutely. We're going to be doing a jersey giveaway on that one for sure. Probably going to be Liam if he resigns with the team. We'll see.
Yeah,
I believe.
But one of the first year editions, though.
Yeah, one of the first year editions.
Exactly.
So they're going to be a collector's item. So make sure you get your hands on that. We'll be giving away one of those for sure. We also want to jump in the comments real quick here. It looks like we have Tammy says, "Oh, so close."
So close.
And let's see here. Vanessa Joe also jumps in the comment and says, I like the DNA hockey logo. Well, thank you, Vanessa.
Thank you. Appreciate it. We worked hard on that one.
Thank you, Nessa Joe. Very nice. We did work hard on that one. A little bit unprepared for the show because of that. So, yeah, absolutely.
Maybe too much work on the logo.
Maybe too much work.
Put it up there one more time. So
yeah, let's just take a look one more time. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at that.
It's so good.
Good work.
Good work, man. Good work. Looks great. Looks great. But yeah, once again, folks, separate channel. We'll put it in the link down below if you want to follow us just for our hockey content. That's where that's going to be. Obviously, stay connected to the main channel because that's where we're giving away the cash. So make sure you're subscribed to that for sure. But yeah, so I don't know. What's your take on the uniforms there?
I love them, man. I really think that they did a good job with these initial year uniforms because there's not going to be a whole lot that you can really do without having an actual mascot, an actual like whole branding setup. But I think they did a really good job putting it together, making it true to the color scheme that they chose. I like them a lot. Yeah, I do too. I think the only thing that I would like to have seen is a third color. You know, like they got the white, they got the black, they got the. I'd like to see like an introduction of like some red or some like orange or. But I think we'll see that. I think that's what you throw in once you find what your actual name is going to be. Yeah, I think you're right on that. That's probably exactly what they're doing. But yeah, I think the colors, to answer your question earlier, I think it could be part of what they're going with the name. But I also think this is something to completely abandon a color scheme just for this season and move on. Right. So I don't know. Let us know in the comments down below, folks. Let us know what you think. If you're listening if you're watching this on YouTube, let us know what you think there. When it comes to that, let us know if this is perfect. Yeah, maybe this is a 1 year color scheme just for the Utah Hockey Club. I think it's possible. If they go Outlaws, maybe they change it back to like the Coyote kind of color scheme where it's like red, green, brown. Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? They could completely rebrand the whole. They could the whole thing next year once they get the new. They definitely could. So, have you seen the names that have been limited down to now? I have. So we're down to what? Utah Hockey Club, Yeti, Outlaws, Venom. You also have Mammoth. Oh, is Mammoth still in there? Mammoth I thought they were down to 4. Down to 6. Oh, down to 6. Okay. Utah, let's see here. Just want to make sure we get them all. So we have Utah Blizzard, Utah Hockey Club, Utah HC, which, like I said, it's grown on me. We have the Utah Mammoth, Utah Outlaws, Utah Venom, and Utah Yeti. What I really like about the Utah Venom, Yeti, and Mammoth is they're singular. They're not plural. I really think they missed the boat there on Outlaws. That should be singular as well. The Utah Outlaw. Now the Utah Outlaws just kind of sounds. There's multiple Outlaws though. Yeah, I guess there's not just one. Yeah, but there's the whole team Outlaws. I don't know. I just think it fits better with a team of people. With a team of people, if you're gonna have like one, it's gonna be the Venom. Well, and we're one team, we're one fan base. Yeah, that's true. I also don't like I think if Venom makes the cut, I'm not gonna like what they're gonna do with that because a snake. What's the Venom? The Venom is part of the snake, not the actual snake itself. Right. So I'm not sure about the Venom part. Like we'll see how that turns out. But yeah, so those are the 6 final names: Utah Blizzard, Utah Hockey Club, Utah Mammoth, Utah Outlaws, Utah Venom, and Utah Yeti. I don't like Blizzard because whenever we're playing the Avalanche, like I can hear it already. You can't have an Avalanche without a Blizzard. Yeah. Or the other way around. Yeah, see, I thought about that. I also thought about the Outlaw. Think about that, though. We have 3 teams named after Canadians. We have the Utah Canadians, the Utah Canucks, the Utah Maple Leafs. Those are all Canadian, Yeah. And then you also have the Utah, you also have the Vegas Golden Knights, and then you also have the Kings. Like we have very similar names with other hockey teams already. Yeah. So Utah Blizzard, Utah Avalanche. It'd be nice to have like a built-in rivalry like the Red Sox, the White Sox, Yeah. I think it would be okay as long as we have our mascot's the Yeti. I know the Colorado Avalanche has like a Yeti foot as its like sub whatever.
Yeah.
Like sub logo type thing. But it was because it was one of their mascots. But that got into it. That thing's no longer part of the team because it got into a fight with a fan and is now gone. So
well, it happens.
It does happen, especially in hockey, that's another reason why I love the sport. I think that's awesome. But yeah, we want to know what you think, folks. Let us know in the comments down below what you think of the jerseys, what you think of the logos. I don't know if you saw the video here. We'll put a B-roll of it on here and shows right at the end how the SCG group was. Make sure to note that there's hats and sweaters available that you can definitely purchase. So trying to make back that 1.2 billion, I guess. Already.
Yep.
Here we go.
Working on it now.
Working on it now. Let us know in the comments down below, folks, what you think. Also, remember, folks, this is we did just launch our own channel when it comes specifically to the hockey. So if you're watching this on the hockey channel, really appreciate that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on that. If you're watching this on our main channel, this is available on our primary hockey channel, Utah Hockey DNA. Be sure to check that out in the comments down below.
Yep. Do it.
All right. So you want to pivot on over to a little bit of Utah Jazz, shall we?
Absolutely.
All right. Let's go ahead and do a color change. Is it the middle button? I think it's the middle button. Don't you think?
Yep, it is middle. Oh, you should have stayed purple, man.
Let's do purple. I like that. I was going for that yellow color.
Yeah, we're switching it up this time.
But I think the purple is the way to go. Because
on brand.
I think that's on brand for exactly what we're going to be talking about. So,
yep.
But all right. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about our Utah Jazz and the changes that have come in regards to that. So the Utah Jazz, I mean, we're about 2 weeks away from the draft.
Right.
Where as it sits right now, the Utah Jazz are going to get the 10th overall pick. And we put out a video last week about how where we think the Jazz are going to pick and, their draft strategy there and how they're going to try and trade their picks up to either move up in the draft or trade them for a star player.
Right.
Which, we've made our point on that last week. Be sure to check out that video. We'll link in the comments down below. So make sure you check that out. But yeah, so let's talk about the rebranded jerseys. Now we have those here. We'll go ahead and throw those up on the screen there for those of you who are watching on the live stream here. Let's go ahead and throw that up. Now they are going to be keeping, if you look at this photo here, you're going to see two familiar ones and two new ones there. You're going to be able to see the two familiar of what I call the whites with the highlighter yellow on them. And then also the black with the highlighter yellow on them that are still original. Now those are holdouts. Those ones are going to be here for, you said, the 2024
so for the season. Exactly. So for the beginning of the 25 season, then I think they're going to transition them over to the other couple ones midway through the 25 section of the season. Yeah.
So we also have the statement jerseys, statement edition, and the city editions, which if you're watching on YouTube there, you're going to see on the right there how those are different. Tell me what you think about those. Do you like the black at the gray mountains and the Jazz note on front? What are you thinking there?
So I love the black jerseys with the mountain. I think are excellent. I love the Jazz note. I like the mountains on the sides of the shorts.
Perfect.
I think that's a great touch, kind of a carryover from the purple edition of those jerseys. I didn't dislike the yellow and black coloring though. I know that there's so many people that didn't, but I like the yellow and black coloring.
Yeah. I know you like the yellow, white, and I like the yellow and black, the flat one that's on the screen there.
Yeah.
The white, yellow, and black, I'm not a fan of. I just didn't like that color style. I almost preferred the all yellow one, but I can understand why people didn't.
Because we were straight up highlighters running around on the floor.
Yeah, it kind of blended in with some of this stuff there. But yeah, on this one here, if you look at I can understand that. I really like the black ones. I think the purple with the mountains, I just think we've done that before. I just think it's
a rinse and repeat for sure.
For a city edition, you could have gone so many different ways, and you just kind of rinsed and repeated a throwback from something we've thrown back to several times.
Yeah.
I just think it wasn't necessary. I don't know. What do you think?
No, totally agree. I mean, and when you go to the next clip of the next season's jerseys, I like the new edition of them, just kind of refreshing all of those jerseys just a little bit.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to those. Let's hit the highlights here. Let's hit the comments real quick. Let's see here. It says that Tammy says, I like the black with the mountains. Yes, 100% agree. I think that's a good touch there. Agree with you there. I think I like that a lot. See here, Nessa Joe, she put on there, I liked the new ones. I don't like the yellow. Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Disagree.
AJ's alone on that island there.
We can agree to disagree.
I like it.
I like it. But yeah, I have to agree with Nessa Joe on that one. I kind of like, I liked the yellow. I like the old yellow one with the blue. No,
See, and I didn't like that one.
so that one was more of a.
It was like mustard.
Yeah, it was, but we had a good record with them. You know my rule.
Yeah, that's true. As
I
long
like
as you
the
win them, I
jersey.
don't care what they look like.
Yeah, I like the jersey based off of how we played in them. That's all I care about. But let's go ahead and jump onto the Noose one here, and this is a little bit better. So again, we have the one that we don't like there on the far left. If you're watching on YouTube, we have the black ones in the middle. We have the home white ones that basically have that Utah mountain as well.
It's like the line mountain, though. It's not the defined mountain. It's like a bunch of lines that create a mountain.
Yeah, and I really like the short change on both of those,
Yep.
on both the white and the purple ones there. I think that one's much, much better. I think it's a better representation of Utah and, you know, the mountains we have here. And I just really like the cleanliness of the black. I just think that the first ones on the left there, I just think that it's just too much of an old rinsing an old hat that's already been rinsed and repeated so many times.
Yeah,
They could have gone a much different direction. They could have redone the black with the mountains ones. They could have done the orange and black ones from back in the day. They could have done some of the baby blue ones that were really hated by everybody, but you can redo that and make it kind of nice and, you know, kind of tie it in. I don't know. I thought there was just so much more you could do. You could do the old city editions from the original Nike ones that had the multi-colors. You could have done
the Red Rock ones.
Yeah, the Red Rock ones.
Those are some of my favorite ones of all.
You could have done some of the funner stuff with those.
Yeah, I like the gradient jerseys too. The ones that like change colors from top to bottom. Like.
And what about if it was smooth instead of a lines? What if it was like a straight
Yeah.
smooth one instead of showing separation? They could have touched with that a little bit. I don't know. I just think the one on the far left just is a little bit too much of a rinse and repeat of an older one. Like they just basically threw that together. But all the other ones I think are sound. I think they look great.
Yep, absolutely. Make sure you guys leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you think. Which one's your favorite Jazz jersey? Make sure you guys hit subscribe. We are giving away the $500. 5 subscribers, $100 each. Make sure you hit like on this channel.
Once again, folks, we do have our own channel specifically dedicated to the Utah Jazz. It's called Utah Jazz DNA. A link will be in the description below. So if you're watching this on that channel, we really appreciate you for tuning in on that channel. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We will be doing a giveaway on this channel once we hit monetization of 1,000 subscribers on this one as well. So be sure to check that out. If you're watching this on our main channel, be sure to check that other channel out for Utah Jazz DNA. Will be linked down below.
Yep.
All right, perfect. Well, anything else on the Utah Jazz before we move on there? We're 2 weeks away from the draft. What are you thinking? What's in your head now?
I'm scared for the Jazz. I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, some of the players that have kind of been targeted in some of these trades are already starting to be in like the Josh Giddey trade.
Oh my gosh, I am so glad that trade went down. Thank you so much.
I think I'm more upset about Alex Caruso because I saw some of the projected drafts where the Jazz take Caruso or trade for Caruso. And I liked that move because I do want more defense on this Jazz team.
Yeah, I like wing defending better. I just got tired of everybody connecting the Jazz to Josh Giddey. I
think it's just because Josh Giddey was known to be moved. He was the weak link on that Oklahoma City team. He was the guy that they needed to get rid of and replace and upgrade and from a defensive standpoint. And Alex Caruso is the perfect piece to replace him with, to be honest with you.
He's a great pick for them to get involved with that. So yeah, I like it. I think it's a good trade for them. But yeah, I'm just glad that Josh Giddey's off the table and he's with a different team because I got tired of reading that in the comments. Everybody wanted to put him with us.
Maybe Chicago's still planning on moving him. There's no guarantee he stays there. Chicago's looking to package some players. Now you've got a Josh Giddey, which is a few years younger than Alex Caruso. Probably like 6 years younger than Alex Caruso, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, isn't Ball coming back this year? Isn't they're saying that they
supposedly he should be healthy this year.
He got a cadaver meniscus and then some additional cartilage in his leg, and they show him doing drills on it. So he's looking good. Plus Zach LaVine, I think they're going to probably move him. And again, the Jazz have been targeted for them, and that's another player that I just don't think the Jazz need to go after. I actually thought about this on the way when I was driving around today. I want to get your take on this.
Okay.
This is not seen in a report. This is just a trade rumor that I think would be awesome. And let us know in the comments down below what you think, and let us know if you're watching on live stream what you think. There's only one player I think that's going to move the needle for the Jazz. So the Jazz go, quote unquote, big game hunting this offseason. There's only one team and one player that I have in mind that would actually make a difference for this Jazz team.
Right away.
Right away.
Okay.
Take a guess who it is. I'll give you 3 guesses.
Brandon Ingram.
Nope. Because we talked about that in a previous video. Be sure to check it out. He doesn't move the needle for the Utah Jazz.
Okay. Give me a position.
Guard.
I don't know.
Okay. So this guy is a perennial all-star. Okay. He really knows how to turn it on in the postseason. Mr. Himmy Buckets himself, Jimmy Butler. I say if the Jazz trade for Jimmy Butler with the team they have now, Lauri Markkanen, the young Keontae George running point, and you have the team, you put Jimmy Butler on there, that's enough talent and enough hardworking talent to push these young rookies into a position where they could compete at the 10 spot, I think. If you're going to make a move for an all-star and try and do that, that's the only option I see where that actually makes where the Jazz change it all.
Just because Jimmy has it.
Exactly.
Like, there's just not a whole lot of players in the league that have it.
Miami's looking to move him, because he's in the final years of his contract and they're not going to want to pay him. The Utah Jazz are kind of in this, perennial whatever mode that they're in right now, where, we can sign and trade for him. He played in Minnesota, so he's not really afraid to play in a small market.
Yep.
He's willing to coach young players and help them out. He's willing to, as long as the team's willing to hustle. I think he'd be a good fit for this team. He'd be a good fit for Will Hardy. I think he's the type of coach that he gets on Colin Sexton. I think he'd works.
And not to mention, Jimmy can go get a bucket when you need him to.
Yeah, he won't have to maintain the offense throughout the regular season. We have a bunch of young guns that could do that. You re-sign Larry Markkanen, you put Jimmy Butler in that lineup. Keontae George, you still have JC coming off the bench. That's a team that can get you some points in the postseason for sure.
I like it. Yeah, that might be one of the better moves they could make, actually.
Yeah.
I mean,
let's know in the comments.
Tough.
Yeah, let's know in the comments down below, folks, or if you're watching on the live stream, let's jump in, give us a comment there on what you think. Do you think that's is there another player that is out there that's available that's been talked about in the trade market that you think would actually make a difference on this Jazz team? Because I got to tell you, 35 wins isn't going to get you in the play-in this year in the West. You're going to need 40 wins plus.
And that's if you decide that that's the route you want to go, right?
Yeah.
If they decide they're going all in, like Danny Ainge says he is.
If we're going on what Danny Ainge has said he's going to do, then absolutely, I think that's what you do.
Yeah, you got to find somebody that can get the ball up and down the floor and get points when you need them. Because there was points last year where it was really tough watching the Jazz try to score baskets.
Yeah, I don't think the Heat would want Larry Markkanen in this trade. I think if they're looking to reload, you can go with some young talent and some picks.
And you're gonna have to
draft capital.
Yeah, and you're gonna have to probably move John Collins to get him just for salary numbers.
Yeah.
But you might have to move Collins and Sexton, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Collins and Sexton.
Yeah.
And
Collins,
and a couple of our prize picks that we have coming up for sure.
I don't think anyone's super attached to the picks.
Yeah.
Not until next year.
I'm all for parades, not prospects. So that's kind of what I'm looking for out of this. So prove me.
Gotta win one.
Yeah, you gotta win one, man. Prove me I'm wrong here, Danny Ainge. If you and Ryan Smith want to compete now, come up with a better option. We want to know, and we want to hear from you folks in the comments down below. If you guys have a trade that's better than Jimmy Butler that can actually make a difference on this young team, I'd love to hear it. I've heard people, oppose the option that I could see the argument being made that Larry Markkanen would need to be included in that trade in order for the Miami to be willing to do it, because they're more of a, I don't know, it might be a rinse and rebuild thing for them on this point there, because this core is kind of gone where it's going to go.
And that's kind of what I think is, at what point does Miami decide that they need to rebuild? Right?
Yeah. So I'm thinking that's probably going to be the route that they go. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I really like that idea. I don't know. Do you have anything else like that? Anything else on the Utah Jazz?
No, I'm real curious to what transpires, especially now that trades are starting to happen and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm real curious to see what happens here in the next, because you'll hear of. I mean, I think you can trade your picks already, can't you?
I don't know if you can trade your picks already.
I think maybe the deadline is just I think it was as of today. Teams can start renegotiating with their own free agents.
Yeah, I think that's kind of how that works, but we'll see. Yeah, we're getting real close here, folks. Stay tuned next week to a more specific towards the draft. Some things have changed around. We did do our pre-draft predictions, our early predictions a couple weeks ago. We'll throw a link down in the comments down below we'll throw a link to that somewhere here so you can check that out. Next week we'll be doing a more close to the actual draft, what we think if they hold on to the picks.
Yeah, after combines, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so you'll be able to look forward to hearing from us after workouts and everything that the Jazz plan on doing. So yeah, well, and we'll also talk a little bit about what would be the tease for that you want to talk about for next week? How would you tease that episode?
What is the are the Boston Celtics the blueprint to win an NBA championship? That's what I want to know.
Stay tuned. Check it out for next week. We'll talk about it then. But yeah, anything else in the Utah Jazz?
That's it, buddy.
All right. Once again, folks, if you are watching this on YouTube, on our main channel, we did launch Utah Jazz DNA, its own separate channel. If it will have a link to that below in the description. Be sure to subscribe to that channel and hit that like button, hit subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can be eligible for the giveaway that we're going to be giving on that channel. And also, if you're watching this on our main channel, keep in mind we are giving away that first $500 we earn in AdSense revenue back to our subscribers. So make sure you subscribe to this channel as well. We'd love to, love to give that away. So make sure you join the party for that. All right, you want to go ahead and move on over to a little bit of Major League Baseball, shall we?
Oh yeah.
Let's not do white. I think that flushes out too much.
So does orange. Now we look orange.
Now we look orange. All right, let's go red.
Yeah.
Does that work for you?
That's beautiful.
Okay, so let's first talk about. Well, there's been a little bit of news broke since we last spoke, which was going to be on the investigation in regards to the illegal gambling that's going across baseball. Not just baseball. This also happened in the NBA where we saw a player get banned for life from the NBA, which we did a video on that. Be sure to check it out. But we now have there have been 4 players to receive 1-year suspension and 1 player to receive a lifetime ban. And and there's more additions to that just came out last week where we have an umpire. You want to break this down?
So I don't have I missed the umpire one.
I'll take care of that.
Okay, but I did get the 4 player for 5 players. So we had a Diamondbacks pitcher, Andrew Salfranc, an Athletics pitcher, Michael Kelly, Padres minor league pitcher, Jay Groom, Phillies minor infielder, Jose Rodriguez. Those guys were all given the 1-year suspensions.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had Tucapita Marcano, who received the lifetime ban for illegal gambling.
Yeah, so these are all people who were betting on baseball games while playing minor league baseball, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so these are all players who are involved in that specific without a legal bookie, right?
Yep.
Is what I've read the story correctly?
Well, and I mean, I think some of them were the bookie. Some of them were just they got caught like on the apps betting on Major League Baseball as a minor league baseball player. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. So I don't know, man. What's your take on this? Do you think the baseball is alone on this, or do you think there's a lot more of this going on? Obviously, they're not alone because we've seen it in the NBA, but
I think this is going to be. I understand any major league sports idea to obviously withhold the true, what is the word I'm looking for there? Well, anyways, you have to be able to hold the value of the game, right?
Oh yeah, the integrity of the game.
Integrity, right? That's what I was looking for. Yeah. So to hold true to the integrity of the game, obviously you have to have all this stuff, right? Like you have to be able to say you cannot bet on a sport that you're actually playing. But there is so much more of this happening than just 5 players in the minor leagues.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I mean, sports betting is in 38 of 50 states at this point.
Yeah. See, that's the other problem here. We talked about this on our basketball video, and I'm glad that they only received 1-year suspensions for these players. 1 received a lifetime ban. Probably see more on that one for why that is the case. But on these players that received the 1-year ban, you can't sit here and ban these players for life and then immediately say this broadcast is brought to you by BetMGM, BetMGN, or Bet Online, or DraftKings, or FanDuel.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Hashtags not sponsored. Exactly. You just can't. I don't understand it. Like, it's kind of hypocritical, and I think this is going to get worse before it gets better, in my opinion.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot more players, and I think the problem is receiving a 1-year suspension on this. Like, yeah, those guys will probably never do it again. But do you think that's enough to make players never want to do it again? Doubtful.
If an MLB player gets caught for doing this, yeah, they're going to get banned for life.
Yeah.
This is a league that banned Pete Rose, the hits leader. He still can't get into Major League Baseball. Still can't be part of the Reds organization. Still can't get into Cooperstown, because of his gambling. And, they'll argue left and right that he's like, oh, he never been on his team to lose. He never threw a game. It doesn't matter. It's getting too close to jeopardizing the integrity of the game. And I think that this is kind of the right way to go about it, but it is kind of hypocritical of a league like the NBA, like Major League Baseball, to sit there and suspend players and fine players and shake a finger at them.
But be okay to take all this money from all these drafting sites.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So all these betting sites, like DraftKings and stuff.
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
sorry.
Yeah.
Betting
Yeah.
sites.
100% agree with you. I think it's the case there. Now, the latest is going to be that's the we actually have news that this came out earlier this week, that MLB has disciplined umpire Pat Holberg for violating the Major League Baseball's gambling rules. While the specific nature of discipline is unknown, Holberg has denied betting on baseball, sources tell ESPN, and is appealing the ruling. This was a tweet from Jeff Passan. He's basically just a lock when it comes to Major League Baseball information. And so this is Pat Holberg is a veteran umpire with Major League Baseball. I don't know if that name sounds familiar to you. It might sound familiar to you. I don't know if you've ever heard of his name before.
Not necessarily.
Okay, so Pat Holgram is known for being the only umpire to call a perfect game in the World Series.
Really?
Yeah, so Pat Holgram in 2022 World Series, Pat Holberg, make sure I get his name right, calls a perfect game in Game 2, which was the Astros versus the Phillies, I believe. Yeah, so and this is from umpire scorecards. He was 100% accurate on all calls impacting balls and strikes. Didn't miss a single one.
That's really impressive.
Yeah, a perfect game, which is nuts. When it's in 2022, that's recent. So my thing is on there, the reason why the umpires are getting so bad now is because just the velo and how much that ball is moving in the high 90s. I mean, something's got to happen to where we can help these guys. Yeah, the players can still hit it, but these are elite athletes that are tracking balls since they were little kids. And these umpires are all in their 40s, 50s. Some of them are in the 30s, but they're just not be able to track the ball.
These guys are almost in their 70s, man.
Yeah, they can't track the ball like that, you know? So I think
Angel Hernandez was what, 68 when he just retired?
Yeah, something like that.
Like you're telling me an almost 70-year-old man is going to try to track 100-mile-an-hour fastball in?
Yeah, he's just not going to be able to do it. And I just think it's going to come down, and we're definitely going to talk a little bit about that here in a minute. But yeah, so again, this particular umpire, a lot of people are noticing that he has not umpiring any games this year, and they're starting to wonder why. So one of the best ranked has not been on the field at all. And so it's just this discipline. This is part of his discipline. Now it is noted that it is just he's been involved. He's been linked to the illegal gambling. He's been linked to gambling with an illegal bookie, and that's what he's being suspended for. He did not bet. Has not been confirmed that he's bet on baseball at all. He's only been betting on other sports with an illegal bookie, which is technically not allowed for Major League Baseball. So that's why he's serving his suspension.
So as long as you're using DraftKings or one of these legal betting sites, it's fine.
Yeah. As
long as you're not betting on baseball.
Well, you're not betting on baseball.
That's illegal bookies, that's crossing the line, though.
That is actually a good point. I didn't even think about that. That is an excellent point. So if a Major League umpire can be betting on basketball on DraftKings, FanDuel, whatever.
Like between innings, bro. He could be up there like, oh man, I totally think the Celtics got this one. Let me put $5 on it.
And then immediately calling so you get back to check his books. He just, calls the strikes out of the zone. Yeah. Because I could kind of see how that would still be a problem anyway, too. So I don't know. We want to know what you think, folks. Let us know in the comments down below. Is this something or nothing? I believe with the umpire here getting suspended for illegal betting, I think that's fine. He's appealing the decision. I don't know. I think if you break the rules, you need to serve suspension regardless of how ticky-tack it is. A la Trevor Bauer's suspension. He technically broke the rules, so he should serve his suspension. But that doesn't mean he shouldn't be allowed back in baseball.
I'm on team bring Trevor back.
Yeah, I don't think he shouldn't be back. That's a different story altogether. Different subject. We'll definitely get into another Trevor Bauer video here.
We do need to, actually, because have you seen some of his stuff, dude?
Yeah, some of his stuff on his channel has just been insane.
So good.
It is good.
It is good, dude. I think he's like one of my weaknesses. Like when I'm making videos, if I see a Trevor Bauer video come up, dude, I can't stop watching. Like I think his commentary is really good too. Like
what he knows, where he needs to go?
Huh.
You know what team needs to sign Trevor Bauer?
The Braves.
No, not the Braves.
Still think the Braves.
Yeah. Colorado Rockies.
I think they are struggling.
The reason why I picked the Colorado Rockies is because they're one of the teams that play in high elevation. Where is he playing right now? In the Mexican league that's in high elevation. So I think that his ability to understand elevation and which pitches are going to work and which pitches are not going to work would be a perfect fit for
the Colorado Rockies. Takes him like an hour before the game to figure out how his sinker is going to sink or his curveball is going to curve, and all of a sudden he's just ridiculous effective.
Which pitches have movement, which ones don't.
Yep.
And then he could pass on. If you watch any of his videos, he is in the ear. Every single pitcher is coming up to him asking advice about mechanics, about release
It's
points.
really cool too, and he's
breaking it down
awesome.
for everybody.
Yeah,
he's helping every single one of them, and I think that's so awesome. I do believe he belongs back in baseball. He served a suspension where you think it was warranted or not. He technically broke the rules of baseball when it comes to consent. That's why he was suspended. And the only reason why he's not allowed back in baseball, we talked about that in the past, it's just because he mouthed off to about baseball too much. If he would just knock that off, I think he'd be back in baseball. But anyway, that's my pick. I think he belongs back with I think he'd be a good fit for the Colorado Rockies.
Go Braves.
Actually, let's go ahead and pivot into a little bit of baseball, and let's talk about your Atlanta Braves for a second, shall we?
I don't know.
So you lost your MVP
Yep.
and your potential Cy Young candidate, Spencer Strider, right?
Yep.
Okay, I see that, and I'm going to raise you one.
Okay.
I'm going to raise you the runner-up at MVP on that one,
Okay.
and who also is an MVP, and who also is our leadoff hitter.
Correct.
In Mookie Betts. He goes down.
And then push one more in.
And I'm going to push one more, and I'm going to call your ace and say the highest paid baseball player is a pitcher with the richest contract of a baseball pitcher has gotten in MLB history in Yamamoto. I'm going to throw him on there too. Holy crap, this was a rough week for Dodgers baseball.
Dude, that is brutal.
Gosh.
You lose Yamamoto to the rotator cuff. He's out at least a month.
Right.
Right. And then you lose Betts to a fractured left hand. How did he break his hand?
Oh, he got beamed.
No.
In a garbage at bat. The Dodgers are winning like 7-2 or something ridiculous like that. And he gets beamed in the hand and fractures his hand.
And he's out 6 to 8 weeks.
6 to 8 weeks.
So, I mean, the good news is neither one of these injuries are season ending.
No.
Right. You're going to get him back. I mean, right now the Dodgers have 8.5 game lead or so in the National League West. So,
yeah.
And nobody's even pacing close to them.
No.
So they've got a great lead. I mean, if there was ever a time for the Dodgers to lose 2 players, it's right now.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
But I mean, my question is, who's going to fill that hole? Like, who's going to take the leadoff spot? Do you just move Shohei into the leadoff?
Let me go ahead and quickly get this comment from Tammy. Painful, absolutely yes. Both for not only Mookie Betts and Shohei and Yamamoto, but also for us Dodgers fans who have to deal with it. Absolutely, it very much is painful for sure. There. That's essentially what they've done. They moved Mookie Betts. They moved with Mookie Betts going out. They moved Shohei Ohtani into the leadoff spot. He's again still raking, which is making my MVP stuff look even better to potentially be the first DH to win an MVP.
We need to make a note. Updated MVP predictions.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do that. Updated MVP predictions coming at you
mid-season. Yeah,
mid-season. We're gonna do that here. So be sure to look at. He doesn't get to because he picked Ronald Acuna Jr. to go back to back for some reason. I'm calling a homer on that one, but
I'm saying there's a chance.
There was. I
was saying
he wasn't
there
stealing
was a
any
chance.
bases.
Not anymore though.
Yeah.
He's not stealing any bases ever again.
He's not stealing bases right now. But yeah, anyway.
One juke move. He's never stealing a base again. He's gonna have
I said,
2 stolen bases the rest of the year.
Like I said, the next video, it doesn't matter how much that guy is caught him. If he's caught, he's going. He's running.
Yeah.
He's not stopping.
Screw it. I'm going.
He's not stopping. So that's basically what they did. They moved Mookie Betts. With Mookie Betts out, they moved Shohei Ohtani into the leadoff spot. And you got Freddie Freeman backing him up, Will Smith in the third. And then you got Teoscar Hernandez batting cleanup right now. So that's kind of
how are they going to cover up Mookie like as a defensive player?
Right now,
Kike?
I'm not. Yes, that's the part that's
Kike.
You remember when we talked about that last year in the incident where he had 3 errors in a single game at shortstop. But luckily, they haven't been playing him at shortstop. They've been playing him majority of the time at third base. And they got Miguel Rojas.
Rojas is going to play some of it too, right?
He's playing majority of the shareholder at shortstop. But
he's a really good defensive player.
Yeah, and he's been raking too. He's been playing really well offensively. He has 4 home runs already, which matches his season from last year. Already.
Yeah.
So good for him, man. But yeah, I think it's the Dodgers aren't going to. You know, unfortunately, the Braves aren't in as good a situation when it comes to this. They're losing their injuries because they are like 8.5 games back of the Phillies right now. You're right. The Dodgers do have that cushion where there's literally nobody they have to chase. Everybody's far behind them, and they will be getting these players back. Now, when it comes to the rotation, they did have Walker Buehler, who just got lit up in Colorado for 7 runs. He just hit the IL as well for 15 games for hip soreness, which is kind of like a phantom IL injury, if you ask me. Like he literally said in the post game, I might, take a rest, take a break, take a couple weeks off, reset myself, and then 2 days later, it's announced that he's injured. But
his hip sore.
Yeah, but we just got Bobby Miller back because he was out with a shoulder injury for the last month. So we're able to bring him back. And then also great news. We had, I'm a true believer in Christianity, Clayton Kershaw, Tony Crenshaw. He did pitch his first rehab start in Rancho Cucamonga for the Quakes.
Oh, he did?
Yep. 3 innings, 5 strikeouts. His velo was up there in the low 90s. He did also have all of his strikeouts coming off his curveball, off speed pitches, lots of movement. Great to see him. He's probably going to be still on pace for like a late July, early August comeback there. We also have Dustin May, who could potentially come back and be helpful in the postseason. But yes, both Mookie and Yamamoto will be back plenty time before the postseason, which honestly, that's all I really care about. You give a chance for them to get for Mookie to get back into the swing of things, get his swing back, get his timing back, and because you'll ask him what he cares about most about right now is ending the season better than the way he did, because both him and Freddie went 1 for eternity in the playoffs last year. Just simply,
just really struggled all playoffs.
Yeah. Good news is for the Dodgers, the bottom 3 of the rotation was one of the worst in the major leagues, with the worst on base percentage, worst hitting, slugging. They have now, over the last through the month of June so far, they are now in the top 3 of the bottom 3 of the order in production. So that's been good to see them really step it up. They did trade for Gavin Biggio. Did you see this? Biggio, Toronto Blue Jays, they put him up for waivers. They picked him up. I don't know who they had to give up for him, but he's now with the Dodgers, taking some of the third base off of Kike and Chris Taylor's hands. Because they both have been struggling offensively, so it's good to have somebody else there. And he's not exactly ripping the cover off the ball right now, so I don't know. I think Dodgers just need to go get the rest of the Toronto Blue Jays, man. Go get Bo Bichette.
See, and if my Braves could just figure out the pitching, dude. I mean, they've got like Fried that does a great job, and Morton does a great job, and Sale, and even Ronaldo Lopez has come out of nowhere. I mean, he was a reliever last year, and they put him in the starting rotation. Those 4 guys, the Braves have looked fantastic. So if they've got any of these call-up guys like Spencer Schwellenbeck,
what do you need?
They just get murdered.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got to call BS on that a little bit. You only need 4 lockdown starters in baseball right now.
I get that, but
you got 4 starters that are all doing well, and you're complaining they need to start. They figure out starting pitching.
They just you've got to be deeper than that, man.
No, you don't.
You do.
No, you don't.
The Braves are not winning enough.
Okay, well, that's more on the offense than I think the defense than the pitching. I think.
Well, yeah, the offense has been hurting, dude. There's times where they just can't buy a hit.
Yeah, so I would think it'd be more on them. But yeah, like if you looked at who made the World Series for the National League last year, that was the Diamondbacks, right?
Yeah,
they had 3 great starters, and then that was it. They were able to get through the Dodgers, they were able to get through the Phillies, they were able to get through the Braves as well,
right?
No, not the Braves.
Not the Braves.
They went through the Dodgers.
They went through the Phillies. Yeah,
the Dodgers, the Phillies. Who else did they play? They had to play one other team in the postseason, didn't they? But anyway, so they get all the way to the World Series on 3 great pitchers, So, you got 4. I think you're in a good spot.
If we can get I guess we just need offense. It's just crazy though, because
maybe the bullpen.
The bullpen hasn't been bad. I mean, like Jesse Chavez out of the bullpen has been playing. Have you seen Jesse Chavez?
Yes, I like him.
He's just crazy. He looks like an 8th grade fucking. Sorry, looks like an 8th grade like coach to me, like 8th grade Spanish coach or something. This dude should not be playing Major League Baseball.
Yeah, that's funny. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah. You look at him, you're just like, what? Got this really weird like wind up. It's funny.
Yeah, and I really love those kind of people coming out of the pen too, because you have a unique lineup and unique release. That makes teams guess.
I don't know, man. I have to agree with you there on pitching there a little bit because I'm a little bit concerned about my Dodgers and how they make great pitching look unhittable. They make okay pitching look like they're great. Like they just, I don't know. It's really, really weird on how that works. But, they survived. They got 3 out of 4 from Colorado, and all of our players are alive. I just
alive. And it's only alive when it comes to Yamamoto and Benz.
It's so annoying, man. Anytime the Dodgers go to Colorado, somebody gets hurt. Last time Clayton Kershaw pitched in Colorado, the next start, he was out until the playoffs. And then he had the worst start of his career in the playoffs. So yeah, I just wrap him up in bubble wrap and don't let him play in Colorado. Take the loss, forfeit all 4 games. Let's move on.
We're done here.
Unless I'm going to the game, then you got to play that game. So make sure you do that. But yeah, it's Aaron Judge just got hit on the hand too as well, but luckily enough, it wasn't a fracture, so he's doing okay. They're dealing with some injuries over there as well. But yeah, the Yankees look strong in the American League. The Baltimore Orioles are only 2.5 games of the best record in Major League Baseball right now. The Yankees just came out of nowhere, man, just started killing it. They were in a battle with the Orioles for the first 3 weeks of the season, and all of a sudden they had the best record in baseball, just knocking the cover off the ball. Great pitching. You want to talk about a team with great pitching? Nestor Cortez, Nasty Nestor, he's doing well. And Cole is set to make his return today. I think is his first pitch. It's supposed to be his first game of the year this year.
That's
today.
insane. Yeah,
off of his elbow injury that he had there. So yeah, we'll see there. Lots of good stuff going on in Major League Baseball. Let us know in the comments down below who your team is, what your struggles are. We'd love to chat it up with you there, and we'll definitely touch on it next video for sure. We do need to talk a little bit about sadness in Major League Baseball. Probably one of the greatest position players of all time. Willie Mays passed away yesterday, I believe. And,
so sad, dude.
So sad.
But he lived a good life. He's like 93.
93.
It's pretty good.
Was unanimously the best player still alive.
Right.
According to a lot of people there. And a lot of people
I was kind of surprised he was still alive.
Yeah. What I love most about him is he did say that all the Astros that cheated should have been banned from life of baseball. He thought what they did was was a ban.
Tell it like it is, Willie.
Yeah, tell it like it is. The say hey kid, Willie Mays. You don't even have to be a fan of baseball to know who Willie Mays is. The catch, I mean, you've heard of the catch, right? The catch over the shoulder in the post in back in the day there, and I don't know if it was in I think it was in Camden Yards, right? I think that's where it was.
Sounds right.
I can't remember where it is. Tammy, painful. Sorry, Tammy, very sad. Absolutely. Tammy, you probably know where that catch was done. Was it at Camden Yards? Let me know where that catch was. Where famous catch. What was great about that is you ever hear what's his name? Billy. He was on. He was a movie. He's an actor. He does
Billy Crystal.
Billy Crystal. Do you ever hear him talk about the catch?
Uh-uh.
Oh my gosh. So great. It's this great documentary on baseball called Baseball. It's Ken Burns. He did a 9-inning documentary, 9 2-hour episodes where he breaks down the history of baseball. And Billy Crystal was talking about the catch. It's not only that it was a catch over the shoulder. In baseball, there's like a million this is what he said, and I'm kind of paraphrasing. He said there's a million calculations going on in your head where the outfield, like when before the pitcher throws the ball, you're thinking where the outfield is positioned, how hard the player can hit the ball, where's he most likely to hit the ball, what's the score, what's the temperature like, what time of year it is. You're doing all these calculations in your head, which was I think makes baseball what it is. But if you were to take into consideration all that data in your head and you saw when the ball came off of that bat, there was no way Willie Mays was going to get to that ball. There's just no way. They said I think I saw a Reddit article on it saying the probability of him making that catch was less than 5%, which is unheard of. Usually it's within 10 or 15% where they're going to make a catch. When you see them diving, it's like a 15% chance they're going to still make a catch. But less than 5% on this one, I think, was what it's called. But yeah, amazing over the basket catch. And then he turned around and fired it in right away to get the ball in. Just one of the greatest plays. Again, if you're not the Polo Grounds, that's what it was called. Thank you, Tammy. The Polo Grounds, that's where that catch was made, was at the Polo Grounds, which is the craziest. I don't know if you've ever seen the Polo Grounds. It's just the biggest outfield in the world. It's insane.
I don't think so.
It's like 600 feet to center, dead center.
Freaking awesome.
It was great. But yeah, the catch was made at the Polo Grounds. Thank you, Tammy, for reminding me of where that was. But yeah, I mean, so with him gone, may he rest in peace. One of the greatest the greatest 5-tool player to ever play Major League Baseball, in my opinion.
I bet you he could still play at 93.
I don't know about that.
I almost guarantee it. He could still hit a baseball.
He definitely could play for the Astros or the Angels. I mean, not the Astros, the Oakland A's or the Angels. They, they can use some.
They could use him.
They could use them. Yeah, but like, so let me ask you that question: who is the greatest baseball player that's still alive, in your opinion? There's some great options out there. Let's go non-pitcher. So you can't use Koufax or Pedro Martinez or anything like that. If you were to say Pete Rose, he's alive. I think you can technically use him, even though he's banned from baseball.
Yeah,
he is the hits leader. You got Barry Bonds, though you can't use him because he's also got some issues there. But you can use him. You can use, I think Hank Aaron passed, so we can't use him. Yeah, you got some good options out there. You got Cal Ripken Jr. You got Ken Griffey Jr.
Favorite is probably Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah,
for sure, dude. I mean, watching him as a kid, like,
oh yeah.
Remember, I just sent you the video of the day. Like, people forget how ridiculous this guy was.
Oh yeah, he's the only player in Major League Baseball history to have over 600 home runs who's in this modern era that is not connected to steroids.
Yeah,
the only one. And so to me, I mentioned him because I think he's my choice as far as greatest baseball players ever to
non-pitcher
to be playing currently. But I think they kind of, like, if you look it up on CBS Sports, they have this list and they have people like Brett Saberhagen and they got like people like Reggie Jackson and some of these other great postseason players on that list. But I think they're missing one, man.
Who?
And I can't believe we went a whole video without mentioning his name. Shohei Ohtani. How do you not mention, as far as the greatest 5-tool players out there right now, Shohei Ohtani? I bet you he could play any position out there if he wanted to. But name another player that could pitch and hit at this level. Like, how do you not put him in the conversation? I don't know if there is
one. Yeah.
I mean, with all due respect to Cal Ripken Jr. and, some of these are great players for longevity and stuff like that.
But they weren't pitchers.
Yeah, this guy could pitch. He could hit. And I guarantee you could play in the field wherever you
guarantee he could field a ground ball.
Yeah.
And be effective.
Why Shohei Ohtani's not on that list when people say the greatest living player of all time? I don't know. It makes no sense to me. And if you were going to put in pitcher, I'd throw in Nolan Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
Nolan Ryan took a line drive off of the face from Bo Jackson. He went into the dugout, got stitched up, and finished and pitched a complete game.
Have you seen the Nolan Ryan, like, just all he did a documentary like 2 years ago?
Oh yeah, yeah.
He talks about like just his time in the majors and
so good, dude.
Dude, it's so good.
He's a stud. He probably threw like 107.
Dude, when I was a kid, that was like the pitcher we were talking about was, Nolan Ryan, fastball right down the middle.
Yeah. So yeah, Nolan Ryan, 7 no-hitters, right? 7 no-hitters. Never won a Cy Young.
Yeah.
That's insane to me. Why he never won a Cy Young blows my mind.
Robbed.
Yeah, absolutely robbed. But yeah, once again, rest in peace to the great Say Hey Kid himself. Willie Mays, one of the best ever did it. Hopefully you're up there watching
the DNA Sports Recap.
Talking to Tommy and Vin, because actually Vin Scully, late broadcaster of the Los Angeles Dodgers, Brooklyn Dodgers, greatest broadcaster of all time. And yes, it is coming from a Jazz fan. Rest in peace, Hot Rod. His favorite player was Willie Mays.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah, interesting little bit there. But yeah, once again, rest in peace to Willie Mays. Best to him and his family while they mourning his loss, as well as everybody else, all baseball, and our fans are definitely mourning the loss. Did you actually hear that they're little league teams that are practicing the catch, like practicing the over the shoulder catch in their practices? Way. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, you got anything else on baseball?
That's what I got, buddy.
All right. Well, once again, folks, we'd like to appreciate everybody for tuning into this episode of the DNA Sports Recap. Once again, folks, we are so close to the 1,000 subscribers. Once we hit the 1,000 subscribers, we're going to be giving the first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue back to our subscribers. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on that giveaway, and also smash that like button. Also, if you're watching on the podcast, if you're listening on the podcast, if you also mind giving us a rate and review, we'd really appreciate it.
Yep. And if you're watching on YouTube on one of our short videos, just know this is available as a podcast, wherever you get your audio only.
With all that said, my name is Darren. That is AJ. And this has been the DNA Sports Recap.
Till next time. Damn, we're good at this.
Yeah, we're still live on the broadcast, by the way.
I just want people to know we're good at this.
All three of you. Peace. Love you guys. Till next time.